5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
Where's that guy? There is he. There he is. Hello, 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 and happy Friday, January 27th. How's everybody doing out there in beautiful Radio Land? I'm sitting here looking behind me out the window of the Kabul Hilton. Imagine that, a lovely place this time of year. I tell the Taliban has a great Chateau Lafite 65. They have showing for me in an ice bucket. I'm going to come over there and import some new friends for the Neve show. All right, we've got our friends from England, the boys from New York and England, the World Trade Center Muzak Research Community. Man, that sounds like that is one hell of a, say that again, the World Trade Center Music Research Community today released an announcement that Neil Venerty is absolutely, totally insane. And he somehow enlisted the help of another insane person who will be joining us. Hi, look where you're at. You see the company you keep? And here we have the lovely and talented Mandy from Canoga Park. Mandy, what's happening, girl? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm excellent. You know, you're all cheery and happy and, excited to be alive. That's great,
Yeah.
So what's happening? You got a big gig tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow night. We're going to good old Bogies in Clifton, New Jersey.
That's going to be at Bogies.
Yeah.
I've lurked around there. You never know. If I can get my friend to drive tomorrow, we might come up and see you. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Like, I know a bunch of really awesome people coming out who are going to we're going to just party it out. You were going to rock your face off.
That's right. You're going to slap their face as soon as you hit the stage and keep it kicking all night. I have to actually get a video for us to show on the show, just to help get your message out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the way I look at it, like we have a new lineup, so tomorrow is day one.
Right.
So it's like, all right, it's our big bam.
Are the boys getting a little nervous around the edges, or are they maintaining they all aggressive and ready to rock?
They're just they're a great group of people. I don't even know how. I'm just so fortunate. Like when you're in rehearsal and you're like, wow, I actually this is all right, and then
there's nothing worse than having the first rehearsal with new guys and they're just not enthusiastic, or they're just kind of lame, and I'm like, if somebody's not really excited to be doing a band, they shouldn't be doing it. That's some weird message here, but I don't see anything. Sure. Let me get back here to let's see. That's it. I see a few other people here lurking in the room. So today in good news, we have all kinds of wacky news. Let's see if any of it's good. I try hard every time we do this. It's like you go down the news thing, and it's like, here's a good bit of information. We should be stockpiling radiation meds, because if something happens, you take iodine, it will keep the nuclear isotopes from being absorbed into your body, certain types. So now, because they put it on the cover here, it says, World Health Organization, who's fucked up everything they ever touch, is recommending that we stockpile radiation meds. Now what'll happen, it'll increase scarcity. Hang on, what was that off camera? Fuck. I didn't just say that. Okay, we have a problem. Rick, I'm going to go ahead and send him a new link. Hang on, bear with me, people. We have our guest from South Africa is having a little bit of technical problems, which is fine. We'll get him sorted out, copied. Ask him, tell him he's either got to use Google or Safari. And I am on the way to sending this off, people. So Mandy, why don't you tell, while I'm doing this, why don't you tell everybody like what your song list's all about? I saw numerous
all right.
really
So
good
first
tunes.
off, my band's name is Twisted Ginger. You can type us right here. We'll put a link or something. Or just like everything I'm on is linked to that right now, you know. And we just have basically all your favorite rock flavors rolled into one tasty band. We're gonna take you all the way from the 70s to now. Like anything you can think of. Like if it rocks, we do it. We do like you know, like the usual stuff like AC/DC, Pat Benatar, but we also hit some Foreigner and some Journey. But then we'll also do some Blondie. We have some Billy Squire. You know, it's like we go all around. And I play sax every now and then. I like to pop a few riffs out. That's pretty much it. You know.
Well, you know, I've seen your videos and pretty impressive, I have to say. I hope I can make it out this weekend, but if not, I'll be at the next one. Definitely.
That's for sure. Because you got to come up and jam too.
Right. Oh, I definitely want to jam with you. I'm just checking. Irish is also I just sent him a new intro, so Irish will be joining us from Detroit shortly. I just sent Idan a new link. I just sent him an shit. It should work in Safari on a mobile phone. It'll work better than Google. Tell him I just resent him the link to try it in Safari. It should work. Okie dokie. Sorry, guys. We're trying to get our guest. Here he is. Irish, the Detroit man, is sideways. Let's bring Irish on and see what he's got going on this morning. Oh, you can see that. I guess it is. Look at Irish, man. He looks like he's. God, hard and put up wet. Jesus Christ.
This is not a
You
hack.
bailed on your anything?
This is the redheaded experience in its finest.
I don't even know what to say. I've seen you in a bad way, but are you feeling healthy and ready for the world?
Dude, I listen. I gotta bounce hot dogs off the frickin' mufflers on the viaducts in Detroit just to get a warm meal anymore, man. It gets rough up here in these cold parts.
Here's Idan. I tell you, hey Idan, we're just going through the show. I'll call you on in just a minute. Welcome. We're gonna have our guests in our palatial green room, resting comfortably. Poor guy, he's coming all the way from South Africa. He gets in the green room. There's no champagne. There's no food. There's no fruit tray. There's no knives and stuff. You know, look at you. You are a mess.
I am, dude. I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you about this shit, man. This shit up in Detroit right now is not playing around.
I tell you what. Why don't you do this? Why don't you log off and then call back, because we're getting some hellish distortion. And I mean, and do something with your hair, man. That's great. There you go. That's better. There you go.
All right.
Go ahead and switch in and switch back, and then we'll see what kind of shape. I have questions for you. Man, I tell you what, that boy looks like he hit it hard last night. He reminds me of the guy Zippy Pinhead. He used to be a cartoon in the 60s. He's kind of got a Zippy Pinhead thing going on. Okay, so before we move on, we have our great guest, Idan Abolnik, will be joining us in just a few minutes. And I'm going through the news today. There's like nothing really good here. Let's see. Oh, here's one. There's a guy who's a transgender fella. A girl to a guy, I guess. I don't even remember. Confusion. It confuses the hell out of me. But they put him in prison, and because he claims he's a guy or a woman, but he still has his junk. So they put him in jail, and he gets charged with rape for 2 women in jail, which shows that it's like me. I could decide today to be identified as a black man. You know, I don't know if that would fly, but
yeah.
I've always said that I'm a lesbian, and I wonder if I tell people that that's my preferred pronoun from now on, I wonder if that would be somehow acceptable.
Yeah, I don't know. I always told people I'm an alien. You know, so
that works. We like aliens. You know, as long as you don't do any of that anal probing stuff, we can pass on that. so I'm looking here. We've got Trump fatigue in New Hampshire. We've got the Democrats have no bench whatsoever. I hate to say it, but they need to start digging. And the sauna market is heating up. Yes, you can have your own biological petri dish right in your own backyard. Sounds good. They're warning people. And then it appears that, where was it? I just saw the headline. It says 1 in 6 people run background checks on their dates. Have you ever done that?
I've Googled. I've yeah.
Yeah.
Like
See,
I won't.
see some guy with his hands on the bars looking at you.
Yeah, like nothing. I mean, nothing like weird like that. It's like, but you know what? You look for red flags. Sure.
Man, I had somebody that I wanted to check up on who was like kind of stalking me. And so I got one of those people finder, or not people finder, like I could get every bit of information about anybody on the planet. And the thing about it was it's like such a scheme, man. Once they get you signed up, it's so hard to cancel. You tell them I don't want it. And another check goes out, they bill you. I had the hell of a fight getting off of it. But it's amazing, really, what we can find out about people. Just like spending $40, you can like have access to way too much info. I mean, we're all so exposed. There's no point in even moaning. Yes. I'm about to finish the first set, mate. Any rate. So that's where we stand. The sauna market heating up. Iranian warships, that's not good news. They're down in Brazil they're going for carnival. The Iranians, they're such a fun bunch. I'm sure that they'll just be dancing and
they're known for their huge keggers.
Yes, their sense of humor is incredible too. I've been asked to go and do stand-up on New Year's Eve.
I heard the original Animal House was set there.
Yes, hang on a minute. My phone just shut off. There it is. Okay. Well, people, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to be back with our guest. Idan is standing by. Actually, he's not in the. There he is. Okay. So, people, we do have a new advertiser on the show, and I'm going to go ahead and play a clip from him. We had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Carlton Wilson has his new CD out. It's available wherever CDs and things like that are found.
There's some changes headed, like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing. Take one of the society, take one of the secrets. Listen to the kingdom of your snow fall down. One of the secrets of this life.
He's trying, man. At any rate, we have Idan, and I've got Irish, the Detroit Madman. We're going to have another warrior on the show today, but let's bring Idan on and say hello. Good morning, Idan. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi.
Shalom, shalom,
How are
shalom.
you?
Thank God.
Like
Okay, how are you?
Africa.
Hi.
Excellent.
Sorry?
Beautiful day here in New York. The sun is shining. I have no complaints.
Also in South Africa. Yeah,
I'm glad you made
amazing.
it on. What time is it, by the way?
Now it's
South
5:15.
Okay, so you're on the same time as Rome in London?
Correct.
6 hours
Yeah.
ahead?
Yeah, something like that.
That's it, right? That's correct. Okay. Well, I definitely look forward to visiting your wonderful country, Israel and South Africa, one of these days.
Welcome.
So this is my co-host, Mandy. Mandy, Idan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
For those who are just joining us, we have IdanAbolnik, and I'm going to be asking him some questions, which I'll let him tell it rather than me tell you, but I'll just tell you you're in the presence of a phenomenal human being in every way. And if you're trying to learn how to defend yourself in the world, there's a lot of bad people. And I think this is a little different than some of the shows I do where I'm always laughing and cutting up and making fun of things. But this is a very serious topic for everybody. I mean, I've got my mom and my kid, and I trained them at a young age to be able to, they went to karate, and I taught them how to shoot when they got to an appropriate age, and they can protect themselves. And both of my daughters are pretty fierce. I'll tell you, I want to get them signed up. They'd fit right in. Especially my firstborn. She's a redhead like you, and she is a feisty little. She's like a parking meter in size. But boy, she's got the spirit of a 10-foot guy. And
Oh yeah, I'm 5'1". Yeah.
yeah, you are a little thing, aren't you? Well, so I'm just going to get down and I'm going to bring you to the front, Mandy, and I'm going to bring one of my other guests. Where did he go? He's gone. Irish is missing in action, but I'm going to just start at the beginning. I'm going to highlight you, and we'll ask some questions. How did this whole adventure in your life begin? I know that you started. I'm just going to let you tell it.
Okay, so how I started this adventure, I, of course, in age of 18 in Israel, you must to go to the army. So I decided to give my best to my abilities. So I joined as a operator, as a soldier, combat soldier, in one of the most respectful unit called Golani.
Mm-hmm.
I served Lebanon War in West Bank, done a lots of interesting. Love that time. Of course, you have the good time and the bad time, but in general, a really amazing experience. After my army, I enjoyed to the Israeli security forces, from close protection to security project. And then I work as a close protection officer around the world and done security project also around the world. And then I arrived to South Africa.
Right.
And then I start Kala system. Yeah.
We're having a little lag here, but take your time. We're standing by, starts and stops. The wonderful joys of technology, people.
So, yeah. Yeah,
So when you started Kala,
so like I said, I arrived to South Africa in 2003.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you've lived there since in South Africa?
Yeah.
So you've been there since
Sorry?
all the troubles just seems to be getting worse, from what we can tell here in the States.
In South Africa, it's quite bad here. Yeah.
Are things getting any? Pardon me, Rick.
About the farmers.
A question Rick had: how are this new farm laws have been affecting for the past 10 years or so? They seem to be getting more and more restrictive for the farmers, and so I understand you've had some success in training them how to deal with these situations.
Yeah, so the situation with the farmers in South Africa is very sad. You need to understand, people not understand the attack on the farmers is not a crime attack, it's a terror attack. They attack them, they kill them, they torture them, they rape the women, they even rape the children, kill the children. So I started a program about 10 years ago called tactical farm training, when I train them how to protect themselves, how to protect the family, and open tactical units in the farm community.
Wow. That's a really great thing. I know I've been following the South Africa for many years. I've had friends from there, and it's funny. A lot of the people that I've met from there, they remind me of the Australians. They're an irreverent bunch. They like to cook some good meat on a barbecue and have a few drinks. And I've always had a good time with the folks I've met from there. They always seem like it's sort of like us, the wayward subjects of the Queen. So how many dojos now, if that's the correct term, how many do you have around the world that are training people?
Sure. So now Kala it's over 30 countries, and we basically, we have the civilians part of Kala, and we have the law enforcement. So those studios, And of course, we have the law enforcement, and we train about 20, 20 law enforcement slash special forces around the world. Yeah.
Right, right. How do when you come and train in the States, do you find people are a little not quite up to the level yet? Do you have to do remedial training? Because I noticed, like, I watched you guys train hard compared to a lot of people I see, and
Correct.
I think a lot of people are unprepared. I watched one of your videos. Tell me about that.
Okay, so I don't think it's particular to USA. I think people in general don't understand what is real self-defense. I think because because the marketing out there, it's like self-defense. It's easy. You poke him in the eyes, you hit him in the groin, and
Right.
off you go. You can run away, and all this pink bubble, and people don't understand. If you fight to survive, don't forget the attacker also fight back. You want to survive, he want to kill you, he want to torture you, he want to mug you, whatever. So it's difficult. It's not easy. No any magic move. So I think when people exposed to that reality, it little bit gives them like a shock and puts them, you know, it's reminds them we are just human being. That's all. No
We
superheroes.
are all uniquely weak in our own way, and life is a blessing every day. So people, I don't think I always say that people who've never been in a fight are the ones who usually want to fight. People
Correct.
who've been trained and have been in a fight or had their ass kicked a few times, they don't want to get into it with somebody. I mean, if you do, you want to stop it in the shortest period of time. And I'm so impressed. My friend Rick Davis turned me on to you, and
Thank you.
Rick, guy, he's a hustler with his his karate. He's quite skilled, and
I'm
he
sure.
turned me on. I said, a lot of the people I've seen and when I've taken lessons, I'm nowhere near you guys' level at all. I don't want to even put myself in the same. I'm nowhere near you guys, but I've learned a few things, and I've had my tail kicked more than once. I've played in rock bands a long time, and things happen, and you learn things. But
Yeah.
I know that what you mentioned about when somebody. I know that I'm 61 years old. And I know there's plenty of young guys out there who just kick my head in, and I don't want any trouble with any of them. But I also know that if something happens where I have to really save my life, I don't believe what I've seen people on TV. If you hit somebody as hard as some of these TV shows look, they'd be dead. Or you do something and they just grab the knife out of your hand and stick you with it. A lot of people trained and they don't have any skills whatsoever once because they don't really get in that live combat. And I noticed watching you guys train. I mean, I've seen it's tough. I mean, people get beat up, and I think that's what makes your system better, and that you're not holding back. You make it very real. Uh, we're standing by. We're talking to South Africa folks, so we're kind of with the mercy of satellites and rockets and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to have him back. I'll tell you, Mandy, you should see the videos where he's doing self defense with some of the women. And I'll tell you, these girls will kick your ass. Dan, you're back. Can you hear me okay? I don't think he's hearing me.
No.
Hello, hello. Dan, can you hear me? I hate technology sometimes, even though I love it.
Yeah. He's achieved singularity in
You, but
himself.
cannot see you. But it's okay.
I hear you finally. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take him out. I'm going to add him back.
Hello. You hear
There he
me?
is. Can you hear me now? I see you. Yes. Much better.
Can you demonstrate some knife techniques?
We're breaking up really bad. Can you hear me, Idan? Boy, people, it drives me crazy when this happens.
Yeah.
The best and brightest technology.
That's what he was saying was right on though, like about like the pink barbells and stuff. Like
Right.
women don't need that. We need to know
how
like
to
how
hurt
to end
somebody.
it. You know, like he said, you know, people forget when someone's attacking, we're just animals. You know,
Yeah, and you fight to survive,
that's
and
right.
we're waiting, Rick. He's offline at the moment. Yeah, I think the kind of training he gives people will definitely give them more of an edge. The reality of it is, there's a lot of shysters out there telling women that they
Yep.
can, they're going to kill somebody and be so prepared. Here he is. He's back. There he is. Hey, how are you? You back? So sorry
Sorry,
about the
yes, the
problem.
line is very bad.
I know it's
No
frustrating for
problem.
both of us. But so we were talking about. Do you find when people come to train with you that do they have to? How does it work? If someone wants to train with one of your places.
So basically, how it's worked with me, when somebody come and want to train with us, first of all, I want to see what is in his mind. You know, people watch a lot of action movies, and so people coming and they so, how you say that, so eager to learn. You know, but then I showed him CCTV footage, what is take to survive knife attack or a gunpoint or even a fight, people jump on you, just for him to understand it's not going to be something from, and then I will see his response if he's into, into continue training, or some of them take the bag and leave because they say, no, I don't want to have a pain or bruises on my body and etc. Then of course you cannot train real self-defense. So I find the people stay and train is people understand reality. It's all about chance. May God be with us, but it's all about chance. So especially for women, I remember some women come to me, hey, I see a Krav Maga, a clip, and I see the woman kick the man in the groin and the man is on the floor and she ran away. I say, yes, it's a good marketing tool, but in reality it's not like that. And I take one of my instructor and I say, come attack her. And he attack her, and she get shocked, and she's freeze, and she say, why he attack me so hard? I don't be expect that. I say, exactly, this is the reality. So this
That's
is how
right.
we select the people. So the people stay with us. It's really people really want to defend themselves, and the families, they are humble people, they are low profile people, and the people want to play a superhero, they are not with us. Go be superhero somewhere else. Yeah.
I've never understood that. You can always tell the person who goes into the martial arts for the wrong reasons. They may have gotten their ass kicked one time, and then they've got a chip on their shoulder, and they go out and they at the dojo. When I was a kid, our sensei had a way of finding those guys out. The first day, man, he'd watch them sparring, and they'd like start bullying somebody, and then back in those days, ridicule and shame were an accepted part of the experience. He'd like make you go stand in the corner or stand on your fingers, doing the push-up stance for like as long as he felt like while everybody's doing exercises or kata. You'd have to stand there it was just awful. I never had to go do that, but I was a really runty kid who got my ass kicked a lot, and I just went to just learn how to just not get my ass kicked quite as hard, But of course, when you're a little guy, as you get older and stuff, things changed. I'm a professional musician and a drummer, and all the people who used to hate me now are all of a sudden my friends. Like all the jocks were like, "Hey, he's pretty cool for a musician." But I, how young do you
I'm
think?
also a drummer. Yes.
Say that again. You're outside.
I'm also I'm also musician. I'm also play the drum, so I know what you're
Oh,
talking
really?
about.
All right. You hear that,
Nice.
Rick? He
Yeah.
plays the drums, man. I did not know that. Another drummer brother. Well, when you come, you have to come out and play some music with us. That'd be great. So what age do you think? Yes. Rick was requesting if you could demonstrate one of your knife techniques.
Why with that my knife takes like how to use a knife? I don't understand.
I guess
What he asked how to use.
what type
Okay.
of knife would you like to see him do? What?
I cannot show knife defense because I'm by myself.
He can't
So
do knife defense.
what you want to see?
Not by himself. So Unfortunately, not today. All righty. What age do you think it's best to start children in the martial arts?
I don't know, in martial
Hmm.
arts, children can start young as possible. I know even 3 or 4 years old. Martial arts is not, in my humble opinion, it is not a real self-defense, with all the respect to BJJ, karate, no matter if it's a
Sure.
Kyokushin or Shotokan. In self-defense, like in Kala, we also have a children program, but we start in age of, I say, 10. Then they can start already to come to Lon Kala. So yeah,
Gotcha. Well, here you go, Mandy. You have your little guy, and another
Yeah.
5 years, he'll be kicking some serious ass and learning how to be a man.
Yeah,
Which
I have
is,
an 8-year-old
yeah,
son. So
I
yeah.
know that was one of the best parts for me. I was a little hellion until I went to, my sensei kind of took care of that. But I enjoyed it. It was just so great to learn something. And, you're young, you're a lot more enthusiastic than a lot of people at middle age think they're going to. Their New Year's resolution, I'm going to learn Krav Maga by next year. And it's like, no, not so much. It's like music. It's like music. I've noticed it. I noticed the same spirit watching people play golf really well. It's a long game. You have to really get your mind in it. Of course, you have the physical, but if your mind's not in the right place, it's really not going to help you, I don't think. See, a lot of people think they know something, like you mentioned. They get out of karate school and they got a belt, and it's like all of a sudden they're a tough guy. Never works out, you know. There's a lot of big bad dudes out there who want to kick your ass. Um, how long do you think that it takes to actually get really decent in your style of kala? If you really like, if you go and you
okay.
take
So I think it's a good question.
a week, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I think to become good in self-defense, in proper self-defense, I think you need to train 3 times a week, minimum 1 hour per session. And I say if you take 1 year, but you're going 3 times a week, you're not going 1 time a month.
Right.
3 times a week, period of 1 year, you can start to build good instinct and muscle memory. But this is what make it or break it. If you train 1 year and then you leave it, you got to lose it. People
Right.
not understand. You need to become. You need to, after 1 year, still train yourself, still to put yourself in real simulations. So if you don't make it as your lifestyle, you will lose it.
Right.
So yeah, but to build muscle memory, good muscle memory, 3 times a week, 1 year,
Sure.
it's okay.
It's funny you say that, because I find the same thing with music. If you put in an hour, if you're motivated and you do 3 hours a week, and really, when I was a kid though, when I learned, nobody had to take me to practice. I just that's all I did. And my parents always knew where they could find me, because they'd be like, oh, he's down there again. I guess he's not going out this weekend. Or even worse, I'd bring the band over.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what that muscle memory, if you don't keep at it, it just whoop,
Is
it just forgets. What would you think is the most important thing for a female to keep in mind? Like if they're learning, some self-defense.
I think the most important in self-defense for female and also for a man is not to freeze. This is most important from techniques. It's not to freeze. If somebody come to you, God forbid, and slap you in your face because he's an evil man, okay, so he give you a slap in the face, or grab your hair and let you go to the ground, and you freezing, and you don't see because you freeze, you don't see the full picture. You don't see you have a knife in other hand, or a gun, or you don't see his friend in the corner with a knife, and you just want to do your punching and kicking because you are in a panic. It can kill you. It definitely can kill you. Or he asks something from you, and you're in a freezing mode, and you not answer to him. it also can kill you. So first things
Sure.
is not to freeze, to train your mindset to deal with stress, to deal with emotional abuse, unfortunately, physical abuse, unfortunately, and to see um, if you can take act of defense, or you need still to submit and negotiate and to find the right opportunity by grace of God.
Right.
That's great advice. Yeah, I could see how.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get in panic mode. You get the tunnel vision, and instead you just need to look at the whole big picture and just
You know,
make
I think
decisions.
it comes down to too having situational awareness around you at times, like being active and looking around your surroundings, because it doesn't matter what color they are. If somebody's going to threaten you, they can kill you just as dead, whatever color they are, and then even at a young age. Of
Correct.
course.
Correct.
Do you have a yearly competition for all of your dojos? How does that work?
No. We don't do competition. We don't believe in competition. We believe in what we do. We have a test. We do testing of simulations. So we take, unfortunately, we have a student been situation in South Africa, like people try to stab them or shoot them. So we take simulations happen in South Africa, and we do that exactly how it's in reality. Of course, we put minimal protection. I say that again, minimal protection, and we go for that. We literally go for that. You finish the simulation. No matter what level you are, even me. For me, it's important to train with my student. I want to see I'm failing. I want to see I don't do it perfectly, because it's impossible to do it perfectly. If somebody come from the back and start to punch me or stab me,
Right.
I'm already injured. I'm already in a shock. So when we test the things, we put it realistic simulation, and we see how we deal with that, how many steps we get. I say if somebody trains self-defense, if somebody train knife defense in a self-defense and you not get one step or two, you bullshitter. You don't train reality. So this is what we do, a lot of simulations.
It'd be a good way to get yourself killed with the wrong person. Like,
Yeah,
just,
correct.
oh, I'm going to do a kata. So I remember Rick and I were talking about wushu kung fu, and he said, yeah, by the time you've gone through your crane pose, the guy's punched you in the face 5 times. It's like all of a sudden you're on your back getting beat to death,
Yeah.
It's funny. I always try to find humor in anything. It's just a good safety measure. Keep yourself sane in this crazy world. But that's something that I really think, in Israel, they train people differently because of your surroundings. You have such lovely neighbors. I don't know what to tell you. You just invite them over for a potluck supper. And, I'm sorry, guys. I won't get into that too much. But anyhow, I think everybody in the States, anywhere, can benefit from self-defense training, but real training, not the, glorified dancer-size class.
And another thing, if I can add it, is not to, if people want to train self-defense online, and this is the big mistake. I remember me as a drummer, my favorite drummer is Chris Coleman.
Okay.
And I always watch his video and try to study and go on the drum. And I said to myself, but it's not sound the same,
Right.
And it will never go to sound the same until I will meet Chris Coleman and I take a classes, and he will give me the details I'm missing in the video. And this is exactly people not understand. You can watch a video.
You can work on the technique so much closer. It's the same for drums. It's really hard to give a drum lesson at a distance.
Okay, in the drum, I'm not going to losing my life. But if you learn self-defense from online, you're missing the details. You're missing the raw, what's behind the.
You have to
so
get
you
grabbed
can't.
and thrown down a few times to know.
Yeah,
If you haven't
yeah.
done
Go
it,
train,
it's
feel it.
hard.
Exactly, absolutely.
Do you? How many people would you estimate come in to train and they're all enthusiastic? How many last? Like what percentage of people after 6 months?
Okay, so I will give you some figures. So if we take a course of Kala of 2 weeks. Okay, let's say we have a course of 2 weeks. Okay, 20 people can start the course. We'll finish between 5 to 4. I'm not kidding.
I'm not surprised because I noticed that's why I was so curious about the training because the training here is a lot of times it's not really training. It's like I say, it's glorified jazzercise.
Yeah.
And then there's a Brazilian art. I forget what they call it, but it's combination.
BJJ.
Yes, and I don't know. I just prefer. I just want something to protect me, to save me, or save my life. I don't really care about putting on a spectacular show. Or I was commenting to Rick about the video you have where you have the guy and you bite his ear. And I had to crack up because I remember playing a gig once when Alexander Holyfield was playing, having a fight, and I had a very wealthy guy from. He lived in South Africa, he lived in England, and he lived in Florida. Very wealthy guy, a big fat gangster type guy. But I'll never forget him. He goes, he's biting his fucking ear. And it was just like he paid all this money for the fight. It was like $500. Got 500 people there to watch it. And it was over in like 3 minutes. And when I heard that he's biting his ear, I was like, which one? Who's doing it? I ran in to see the replay. But you know, that shows if somebody, they have this misguided notion, I think, that a fight is supposed to be fair. If somebody attacks you, it's not fair by its definition.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. You don't have anything to guess when somebody swings on you that he doesn't mean, you know, buy you a beer or anything. I think that's really interesting. A high dropout rate says you're doing something right. You know, some of those people, do they come back and tough it out? Is there a percentage who?
Not much, but yes, but you have some people, I must to say, especially the women, I must to say, they give up, and then you see after 6 months, you get WhatsApp, listen, I want to try again, I think I understand now, I must to push myself, and they do it, I have a good example of...
Train harder than a guy. If a woman's been attacked, and
they must to,
protect herself.
I am not going to allow for a woman, listen, you know, you can fight smarter. No, you can't. A man is more stronger from you, more heavy from you, and you need to fight harder.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm not going to tell you.
Physics.
I'm not I'm not going to give you a fairy tale. You know.
Yeah, well, and that's a good thing because that's really so important not to have misguided expectations of your capacities. That know yourself, man. You know. You always see some small guy go after a big guy. And my son is 6'3", he's a big kid. And I always told him, thank God he's a nice kid. He doesn't have that warrior. He's not a mean kid. Not mean, but I said, just watch out for the little guys because they're just like, they come up and they've got an attitude a mile yard and they just love to start the shit for some reason.
Oh, yeah, the Napoleon complexes.
Yeah. I've seen lots of those guys at the gig get stomped bad, man. They just, you know, they got the mouth, but they don't. You know, alcohol. I don't drink anymore, but I can tell you, man, the people who go out and they're tourists. They go out once a year drunk on New Year's Eve, and then they start a fight with somebody and get their head kicked through the wall. I don't know.
Who's the party? Buzz Killington.
So I'm trying to think of something. Go ahead. Rick was asking about the situation with terror around the world and your opinion on it. And do you think, I also want to add to that about the Palestinian conflict. Do you think this is ever going to be resolved? I'm of the mind that it's it doesn't seem it's ever going to end. I'm of the mind that whatever we do, it's never enough. And until they accept the rule that they're not all going to move back into your apartment, it's never going to work. I mean,
okay. So I will give this answer as my experience as an ex-combat soldier when I fought a lot of terror, and I will give it also the part of this answer as a civilian, you know. So as a soldier, as a guy fought, you know, against terrorism, is a very, very, very hard fight. And I want for the world to understand, for the people to understand. We are not fighting against culture or against belief. We are fighting against evil people. Islam or Muslim people, not all of them are terrorists, not all of them are bad people. In fact, in the Israeli Defense Force and even in the special forces and the combat unit, we have a Muslim people serving with us and fighting with us against terror.
Right.
So when we fight against terror, we fight against small group. They are small group. The fight is very selective. It's very hard because they are hiding in civilians' places, shooting rockets from there or shooting at you. And they even hold their own family, the son and the wife, and they're shooting behind the wife. And you need to fight so selective not to hit innocent people.
Right.
And this is why I'm so proud to come from an army like that, like the IDF, and to be a combat soldier from we are good army, but we're so, our humanity is
The way that you guys go out of your way to
is the best in the world. Absolutely. What people not understand around the world, for us to take Gaza, it will take 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 F-16, one way, second way, Gaza not exist. Sodom and Gomorrah, no one person, nothing. If Israel want to take Gaza, no time. But we are humble and we are know how to treat terror and how to treat civilians, innocent people. Now, as a civilians, as a guy believe in God, I don't think this will ever end between the Palestine and the Israeli conflict. It will never end because of the few things. One is Jerusalem. We have our holy place, the Kotel. They have El Qadsa, and it's like it will never end. You know, they also say Israel, it's a Palestine, it belongs to them, but it's more the Jerusalem what is will make this fight never finished.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a question here from a young lady out in Los Angeles, and she'd like to know if it's safer to cooperate sometimes in the case of a large man versus a small woman. I'm going to let you answer because I'm.
It's a very good question. So it all depends on the situation. In our Kala system, we're also teaching the civilian women and men how to negotiate under stress. It's important to know to cooperate and also to negotiate what to say and what not to say against a man who don't know, threatening you with the knife or a gun or want to rape you. So cooperate is definitely a tool can help you to survive, but if you feel and you see his attention is not only to intimidate you and he want to hurt you now. By example, I will give example. If I hold the woman now on the hair and a knife in my hands, and I put the knife here on the neck, and I say, hey, listen, XY, take your pants off or whatever, and you say, please, I will do whatever you want and stuff, and please just, and suddenly he takes the knife up, the negotiation is finished now.
Right.
You need to do something about that. So, you know, it all depends on the situation. Yeah.
Right. Well, I know I've seen some young ladies in various karate competitions who are good, and they can take a pounding. I mean, they, you know, I have to choose my words more carefully. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
God Almighty, I have a terrible mind. I don't know what it is. Some countries they have to put me down. That's all. So, what do you think is the future for South Africa? I know there's the movement "I'm Staying." Speaking of intractable, boy, you lived in two places that just have such an uncooperative group of people around you. It's
correct.
It's unbelievable.
I'm very blessed. Correct. Look, the situation in South Africa is very bad in that moment. The crime are just to tell you some statistic. And I'm not now we're talking count 10 seconds from now, some women got to be abused or raped in South Africa. This is the situation. A crime here is become brutal every day. The criminal not anymore give me the money and give me your car, or The criminal first of all shoot and then taking what they want. So the violence is increasing, the brutality is increasing. The government here are so corrupt. They don't do anything, not the president and not the ministers. It's like nobody care.
Wow.
Literally, no one care. So it's not only the farmers, it's the farmer situation, it's the people live in the city. Like now we have electricity crisis in South Africa. They take the electricity off about 6 hours per day because they're not maintaining the power station.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's like really gone down in the past 10, 15 years, hasn't it? That used to be that way.
yeah, we pray to
And that's
God
not
because the
things that we
country
would hear
going like
about in the U.S. Like I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that either. That's not
Yeah.
something that coming to a state near you one of these days. You never know.
Yeah,
People think nothing can happen to them, and it
yeah,
brings to mind like we've got the situation in our show. We try to avoid politics, but occasionally you have to talk about it a little bit because it's out there. I mean, right now we've got this war in Ukraine going on, and
correct.
it's a terrible thing. And again, the people who want wars haven't been in one. A lot of the old guys will send young people to do it. But I was of the mind when this started, and I still say it, nobody knows where this is going to go.
Correct.
And historically, there's never been a time where Russia started a war in their past where they just gave up after a while because they were losing a lot of people. They'll just feed more people to it. This will go on for a long time. The people who are here in the States, they're like, kumbaya, it's going to be great. We're going to win and kill the Russians. It's not going to end that smooth. The enemy has their own vote, and they haven't done anything yet. But my point is that we are indirectly in a war with them by supplying them. I know if I was Putin, I'm not that kind of guy, but if I was, I would push as hard as I could to win. And I don't see that he's the kind of guy who's going to back down. I mean, as much as I can't
Definitely
stand the
not.
guy, he's told us all along what he's going to do if we did this, and then we'll do it, and then he did it. So I would take him at his word, and we'll see what happens. I pray that we will not have this thing explode into World War III.
Amen.
This is an issue that I think is one issue that is not Republican or Democrat for any of you guys out there who are watching and going to call and curse me whether you're on either side. I don't really care. My opinions are my own. And if you don't like the show, there's always other shows that will tell you exactly what you think, how to think, rather than learning to think and read and do your homework. I'm flattered that you came on the show. I can't tell you.
Thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
admire it a
God
great
bless you.
deal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank
know
you.
we've
Thank
talked about you. Hopefully, you're
Thank you.
coming over to see us here. And
Absolutely.
I look forward to meeting you. Have you been to New York before?
No, we don't be in New York, but this year we have some plans to arrive to LA and other areas. So yeah, we'll let you know when everything is finalized. Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, I certainly hope to come and train with you even the little bit that you'll be here. I'll go home. I'll have a bunch of bruises. I'll be proud of them, man.
No,
Being a
don't
drummer,
worry.
you can appreciate. I tell people if you're a drummer and you play 4 hours, you're into pain, man. You get off on the endorphin. That endorphin, man. Once you start getting them up, it's like things don't hurt as much. And I just talked to Rick. We are putting a group together to get you over here, so we're looking. I'm
It
excited.
will be.
Nice.
Rick, thank you so much. It will be an honor.
And who knows? Hopefully, we'll break bread and have a good time. I look forward to
It will be amazing.
Bring Mandy too. You're going to bring you. You're on my dime.
All
Get me in
right.
there and show you how to kick somebody's ass. Now,
Yeah.
you've got the spirit anyway. I know redheads. I have a redheaded daughter, and believe me, she's got the spirit to win. She's the kind of chick who, if you hurt her, she'll just hurt you even worse. And she has the right mentality. She once protected a kid. There was a mentally challenged kid that a bunch of jocks were kind of making fun of the kid and abusing him. They were throwing stuff out of the garbage pail on the floor, and then they'd go, "Oh, go pick that up." And they're all laughing at him. And my daughter's not like that. She went over and told the big jock who was sitting in his chair, "You're an asshole. You shouldn't be bothering that kid. What's the matter with you? Your mom proud of you that way?" The guy got up, took a swing at her. Well, she kicked him right in the nuts. And then a friend of mine who's been a student, a drum student, and his dad recorded a record, went to school, it was at the same school. Well, when he saw he saw Asia, they're in the same class, kicked this guy in the nuts. And then a couple of the other rednecks got up, and my friend went over and got between them, this kid, and I didn't even know that till I get called down to the school. Mr. Van Erdy, your daughter Asia's got in a fight. I'm like in my head going, what? Got in a fight? I'm like, with who? She said, some guy on the football team. I couldn't believe it. I'm like thinking this big moose, threatening my daughter, and she's fierce. I gotta say, man, you grab a hold of her and she will bite. I have no doubt. Tell me this. I know you have a family. Your children, are they very skilled in the things you teach? That's awesome.
I never force them, but they come with their own initiative and teach me and show me and teach me. So I'm very happy.
The best part of life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got a little guy at 5, man. You get him into it. He's so damn cute too. I hate to say it when I just take my kids around, look at these little guys kicking around. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, kids are good because they'll listen to you too. Do you find that sometimes people, when they come to train with you, they're too caught in their head and don't listen to what you're actually saying?
No, because I make sure they're listening very carefully.
That's number one, right?
Yeah. My class is very much military kind of vibe,
Right.
But also,
you ever get somebody comes in with a chip on their shoulder, and it's one of those one guys who's just going to try and show up the teacher, and then you have to chastise them, or how do you handle that?
Again, how I handle with what?
Well, I've seen sometimes a tough guy will come into a karate school, and he ends up being a jerk. And
yeah, we have a lot of people come and want to challenge us, and it's okay. If you want to challenge us, it's 100%. I don't have a problem with that. But the moment you get a hiding little bit, be a man and stay. Don't now cry and take your bag and your ego is hurt.
That's
and
right.
You go out.
And go home.
Yeah, I say to challenge self-defense, nothing wrong. Because if I buy a new car, I want to test the car. No problem. If you want to start self-defense, you have all the right to test it. But if you in your part of your test you get a little bit hiding, don't now be a wussy and take your stuff and go. Stay.
Yeah, right. I can't stand people like that. It's like an ankle biter dog. It comes up, you turn around, you walk away, and it comes back.
Correct.
It's like in life, there's so many of those people that I think Winston Churchill said, you can't kick at every stray dog along the road. You'll never get anything done.
Yeah.
Well, you've been a great guest, and I'd love to have you back sometimes because this subject, there's so many questions I could go on. We could talk for hours.
Not a problem.
Do you own a dog?
Sorry?
Do you own a dog? I have a friend asking the question.
Oreo, come here. Come say hello. Come, Oreo. This is my dog. His name is Oreo.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, he's a good boy. Big old Great Dane. He's cute. You see him?
Yeah.
He's cute. All right. Hey,
He's
buddy.
very cute.
I'm an animal guy. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
More than people anytime. I'll take a dog or a cat over a human every time.
I'm meant for that. They are the best friends. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They will not stab you in the back. That's it. No.
All right, everybody. Well, you've been watching Live with Neve, and we'll be back today at 4:00. Thank you, Idan. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Bye-bye. God bless you.
I look forward to training with you, and hopefully you won't kick my ass too hard. No, kick it hard, man. It's the only way to get better. All right, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, but with those, you could have 3 different guys, and every once in a month you go down there and actually be the real.